Hello, my name is Chanel, and today we're looking at the Earth Medicine cards. So these came with this lovely artwork here with information on the back. This is the guidebook. Now you can choose whether you want, this is Weaving the Cycles cards. You can choose whether you want it for the southern or the northern hemisphere. I chose the southern. It's by wildmedicineart. So I'll just look at the back. Here we go. The book offers guidance in using the Earth Medicine card deck. It's a tool for understanding the threads in our web of life, to guide our flow, help us weave, remember our entanglement with the old wild ways of Mother Earth and the universe. The deck consists of 48 cards. Each represents different phases in the cycles of life: the day cycle, the moon cycle, the seasons, the menstrual cycle, the feminine life cycle, the masculine life cycle, the sun cycle, a flower's life cycle, the 4 elements, and the spiral of life. We are deeply affected by the cycles. They weave in and around and through us. This weaving will give you the gift of insight into the way of all life is woven together, remembering your own entwinement within and without. So it says it's made on sustainably sourced Australian paper using solar power. So this is the guidebook. And it is like, the cover is, you can tell it's recycled, of course. And then this paper is quite smooth and soft. So this is like a prayer, and then it talks about the spiral of life, and then it's got the different cycles. So this is not like regular divination cards. So it tells you how many cards are in each cycle. So we've got the weaving guide, so weaving the cycles, a grounding sort of prayer. And then you've got it's about a page for each type of one. So this one talks about the directions, and that's it. There's nothing else for that. And then you've got the day cycles with each of the cards and a tiny bit of like information about that card. And then for the moon phases, same thing. So it's not divinatory at all. It's not, this is just simply like crescent moon. This phase is just before the waxing first quarter. It's very just informative. Like statistics. Then you've got the seasons. You've got sometimes I have a few questions to ask yourself, but then you've just got simple explanations for the seasons. Same with the menstrual cycle, just about that phase. The feminine life cycle, once again, is just sort of facts. Same for the masculine. Sun phases. So these ones are using sabbats of Celtic origin. So you've got Dara Beltane and all of them here. And then you got the flowers of life cycle. So a microcosm within the macrocosm. So you've got budding, blooming, that sort of information. Elementals. So the elements woven in. So this sort of tells you a bit about weaving the cycles. We've got dark and light, yin and yang information here. The web. So it's sort of shown you where they've placed, like in winter, what they've placed in winter, which feminine cycle, menstrual, masculine, flower. It shows you sort of where they've put them. And this has here emplacement, ritual, and ceremony. So sort of how you would place the cards. And then a gratitude at the end, and then about the designer. So that's the guidebook, and the cards themselves are quite large, so almost whole hand size. They're roughly cut, so they're all like feathered on the edges, unlined. The cardstock itself is a satin and quite bendy, so we'll look through the cards now. So I'm doing this a bit differently, obviously, because I can't just read from the card. So I'm just basing it on how they recommend. So I'm starting by, I'm currently facing east. The day cycle, it's currently midday. So for this one, they have written, which direction is the sun highest in the sky? And what are you doing at midday? What is nature doing at this time? The next one is the moon phases. So currently on a crescent moon, and it says this phase is just before the waxing first quarter moon. Now it says seasons. So currently we're in winter. Winter days are short and cold. Darkness reigns. Menstrual cycle, a bit too much information, but anyway, ovulation. It says the release of eggs from the ovaries, energy levels are at their peak, a time for outward expression and adventure. In my feminine life cycle, I'm in the mother phase. This moves from motherhood, giving birth to a child, or embracing a potential for the creation of something new that initiates a shift in life through to menopause. Approximately, it's for people 25 to 50 years of age. For the sun phases in the southern hemisphere, we're, I guess, under Imbolc, which is a cross quarter, the midpoint between winter solstice and spring equinox, a time for new beginnings. Life forces are awakening, first sprouts are emerging. In the flower cycles, it's budding because we're getting those first budding blooms of spring. The petals are preparing to unfurl. And elements, I've chosen water today because it is raining. And it says underwater, does most of the rain you experience come from the north, south, east or west? Or does the ocean have a strong presence nearby? Perhaps there are underground water tables beneath your feet. Place the water card accordingly. So yeah, I'm guessing a lot of people would use these in regards to maybe altars or spell work. Yeah, so this was the Earth Medicine cards, Weaving the Cycles by wildmedicineart. I hope you're having a whimsical morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are. And as always, stay wild, star child.